Hi everyone. Good evening to every one of you. Hi. I hope that I'm clearly audible and visible to every one of you. Hi guys. All right. Perfect. Good evening. Good evening. Okay, so tell me, did you guys go through the yesterday's recording of the YouTube? Did you guys check it? Let's wait for 1 2 minutes till the time we can talk to each other through chat. If you have any query, if you have any concern, let me know. Yesterday we printed some statements in JavaScript which we can see in console by. We can't see that on web page. Yes, the use of it was only going to be from developers' point of view because developers need to see that what type of error is coming, right? They need to sometimes see the value of some variables. So rather than putting it directly on the web page, so they will check it on the behalf of web page. They are going to check it in the console. So that's why it is going to be used there. All right. Okay. Any else? Anyone else? Any other questions? DOM is going to be covered tomorrow, Bhavya. So don't worry. We'll see each and everything in at there only. Okay. Yes. Today we are going to talk about ready for functions only. We are going to talk about the other important from interview point of view. We are going to talk about closures. We are going to talk about lexical scoping and all the other parts, important parts. All right. Okay, so let's start, guys. Everyone is up. Yes, everyone is here. Shall we start? No, Java is not related to JavaScript for sure. It is not at all related with the JavaScript. Java and JavaScript, they both are different. All right, so now tell me, according to you guys, what do you mean by functions? What are functions according to you? Tell me. What do you mean by functions, guys? I'm going to share my screen. Just let me know if my screen is visible to everyone. Is my screen visible? Okay, so tell me, write in the chat box, give me the definition of function. What is function according to you? Yes, what is function? Arithmetic doing sums, any task we need to the computer to perform. Function means it does some action. Yes, that is true. So a function in JavaScript is basically a block of code assigned or it is specifically designed to perform some certain set of tasks. All right. Now, let me tell you that why we need it, because it is going to be reused again and again. For example, let's say that there are 10 different people sitting in front of me, or we are taking the data from the 10 different persons, right? Now, those 10 different persons are going to give different values, right? For the addition, I want to perform addition by taking two numbers from each person. Now, to perform the addition from those 10 persons, what I can do? I can take the value from person 1. Let's say I'm writing here. Let person 1 underscore number. Person 1 and number 1. Let's say it is giving me 2. Then let person 1 underscore number 2, because one person is going to give two numbers. Okay, and then I'm going to perform sum. So let sum, and then sum is equal to person 1 plus person 2. Okay, then similarly I am going to take the sum two numbers for person 2. So person 2 underscore number 1 is equal to 90. Let person 2 underscore number 2 is equal to 77. And then again I'm going to declare some variable. Let's say person 2 underscore sum, right, is equal to person 2 number 1 plus person 2 wait, a spelling mistake, yeah, and then person 2. So similarly, now think if you are going to have 10 or 50 people. So for all of them, you are going to perform the same logic you're writing again and again, right? Correct? Yes or no, everyone? You are performing the same logic again and again. So rather than doing the same logic again and again, it is going to be very lengthy, very time consuming. It is going to be. So what we can do instead of this, we can create one function that is going to take any person variables or numbers, and only once we have to write that code for every different person it is going to calculate. How? Let me create it with the help of function. So what is function here? Let me write here function keyword. Function add, because we are performing add, or you can give here sum, round bracket, curly braces. Okay, now let's say sum. What do we want? I want to add two numbers, so I'm going to pass here 2 comma 3. So two numbers I have passed. Here I need to put those numbers into some variable. So I'm going to write a, which is going to take the variable 2. I'm going to write here b, which is going to take 3 as a number. And then here I can write let add is equal to a plus b, and then console.log add. All right, and save it. And this is how it is going to show me the answer 5. Now next time the other person needs to send some different value, then you don't have to write this entire code. You just simply have to write here like this and give different values, and it is going to calculate it all together. So that means you are now reducing the number of lines of code. Correct? Yes. Is that clear, everyone? All right. So that's what function is. So function is basically a piece of block that is going to be use, reuse, and use again and again. All right. So that's the advantage of having the functions. Now let's talk about the types of the functions here. Functions are of two types. One is non-parameterized function, and then parameterized function. Okay, non-parameter means, now let's say I want to just show some data, some information. So function details round bracket. This is a basic syntax rule that you have to follow. So function is going to be the keyword, then you can give any name of the function, round bracket should be there. And if you want to define the body of the function, defining means what logic it is going to perform, you need to write here curly braces. Okay, let's say I just want to show here console.log details. All right, now I'm going to execute it. You must need to call, that is the other rule of the syntax. All right, you must call the function here. Is that clear, everyone? We'll talk about the return, don't worry, just right now focus on the base. All right, so this is the, because we are not passing any value here, right? We are not passing any value here or here, correct? All right, so that's why it is known as non-parameterized functions. Any doubt in that? Yes. Okay, clear. So this is a non-parameterized function. If we'll talk about the parameterized function, so this is an example of parameterized. Why? Because we are sending some data. So when you are, so this particular part is known as calling of the function. Whenever you are going to call the function by adding few information, few data in here. So this particular part, the way you are sending the data here, this is known as arguments. Okay, many students get confused the difference between arguments and parameters. All right, so this is what we have the arguments in here. All right, when you take these arguments into the definition of the function, you need to save them as a variable, right? So that you can use it later on. So the first parameter is going to be this one, then the second parameter is going to be for this one, right? So they are known as parameters. So basically they are known here as arguments, and here they are going to known as parameters only. Fine. So that is the parameterized function here. Now, after that, now this function with function keyword, with whenever we are going to declare it, this is basically a part of your vanilla JavaScript. That means pure JavaScript. If we'll talk about the ECMA script, let's say, right, then ECMA script has different way of writing the code. How? With the help of this. Const add is equal to round bracket and then arrow button, curly braces, ECMAScript function. You have to call it in a similar manner and execute it. You will be able to see the answer, right? So what happened? You take one variable name here, add. You put round bracket. Why round bracket? Because round bracket is the representation mark of the sum. All right. And then you create it like this arrow. So that's why they are known as arrow functions as well. Okay. Then you need to write arrow in here and then put curly braces and write console.log. All right. And then simply you just have to call it like this only. So this is how we can have the add function. Is that clear? All right. So this is basically known as arrow functions here. Is that clear, everyone? All right. Perfect. Now this is also of two types. One is non-parameterized, as you can see here, and one is the parameterized. So that you can also pass here any value and you can receive that value here in the form of any variables. All right. Okay, perfect. Then let's go ahead. Now let me talk about the different ways of calling functions. Const or simple function. Okay, show function in JavaScript. I have written it like this and I'm calling it. Now this is a usual way through which we call this function. Now, can you tell me that what is the other way if I don't want to call it like we are calling it at line number 6? Can you tell me, guys? You explore this and let me know. Hide. No. No. What else, everyone? Google it. I want to call it in a different way. How I can call it? Tell me quickly. Yes, everyone, tell me quickly how we can call this function. I am asking you, I'm telling you that you are allowed to use the Google or ChatGPT, okay? But then give me the answer. No, not by passing arguments. In what way? Call function, text, they are not visible. The question is very simple. We are calling this show function with the help of line number 6, right? Correct? With the help of line number 6, we are calling this function. Is that clear? Now, is there any other way of calling it again? Yes, tell me then. Okay, have you heard about immediate invoke function? Immediate invoke function. Let me just put it like this. What you're going to do, instead of calling it like this, you put it inside the round bracket. Okay, then call it here only and save it. Now I'll show you the answer. Now just give me the answer here. Is that clear? Okay, you are wrapping this entire function within the round brackets, and that's how you're calling it. Any question in here? So why do you call this, ma'am? This concept is called as IIFE. Very good, Rishabh. Yes, this concept is called as IIFE. All right, IIFE means like how you are going to call a function immediately. Now, immediately means I don't have to worry about calling this function or performing the call of the function separately, right? Can you tell me that where such type of functions can be used? Any example that you can refer here? Any example? Everything is visible. I am seeing it from the other laptop as well, so that is clearly visible in there. So please focus. This is the immediate invoke function. Now tell me, just think about it, that okay, this type of function, if I have to use, where is the practical usage of this type of function? Quickly. Anything? This is defined immediately, right? Okay, now let's say I want to tell you something. um, Whenever I want to load any web page, okay, there are going to be few things that I immediately want to load as soon as the page is going to be opened, right? As soon as the page is going to be opened, I want them to call immediately, right? Correct. Now for that part we can use this, because this is automatically getting called by itself. All right, and we can use this concept to call the function immediately without waiting, right? Okay, so that's why it is basically used here for, so that if you want something to load at the time of page loading, then it can be used. All right, fine. Now let's see the other different ways. All right, okay, now let's go ahead. So this is one way. Now let me talk about const data is equal to like this. Okay, I'm writing here console.log. hello from data function. All right, and then I want to, let's say, save const new data. So tell me what will be the answer of this new data here. What will be the answer of this new data here? Yes, what will be the answer of this new data? Yes, first of all, okay, before giving the real life example, understand the syntax. When the syntax is going to be clear, then I'll let you know. We'll do enough practical examples after that. All right? Not memory allocate. This is a variable that I created. Okay, now see. It is going to hold the function information. Which function information? Data function information. Now I'll try to show it to you in the front end. Script. It is like that. Let me save it. Let me execute it. Right click, inspect, console. Can you see that new data is holding the entire data function here? Yes or no? Now, if I'll new data and round bracket, what will happen? Tell me. What will happen if I'm going to write here new data? Yes, think, use. It will print. Very good. It is going to be called. Can you see here the data is coming? The answer is coming here. Correct. Now I have different question from you. Let's say you're going to do it here only. Okay. And then you're also performing console.log. Then what will be the answer? What will happen? How this code is going to work? How this code is going to execute? Yes, arrow function, you just have to write the type and then the name of the variable is equal to round bracket. Why round bracket? Because it is a representation mark of the function. Then simply you write is equal to an arrow here. So this is going to make it as an arrow function. That means that we are telling it that what this variable is going to hold, this is going to hold this entire data. Is that clear? Okay, tell me what will be the answer for 22 and 23 line. Overwrite. Okay, no, it won't overwrite, that is for sure. What else? Think, guys. Okay, let me show you. First of all, for line number 21, it is going to give the hello from data function. Okay. Because as soon as it is going to see that we are calling a function, what it will do, it is gonna leave everything and will immediately go from here to here and print the value of this. All right. After that, if you will see, you are holding this data calling at line number 22 is going to have the information in the new data. So when you're going to call it, you are executing this part. But are you giving something in return to this new data here? Are you giving something to this new data in return so that when we are going to do the console.log, it can print something? We are not giving anything, right? Correct? So that means that's why when you're doing console.log, new data is not holding any information. So that's why it is showing the undefined here. Clear, everyone? Any question further? Yes, I'm going to explain this again. So now see. You are calling the function here, right? Correct? Yes or no? Okay, so this is a function that is getting called here. As soon as when you will see that the function is getting called, what is going to happen? It is going to leave everything, and then from line number 22, that means data round bracket. From here, it is immediately gonna go towards here. Okay, and then when we are calling the function, it is going to print the 18 number line, right? And that's how, because of this only, this line is getting printed here. Yes or no? Is that correct? Okay, and now after that, this data, the execution of this function is done, right? It doesn't give you anything so that you can store that into the new data, because new data needs something that can be stored. When you are calling this data function, you are not storing that in the new data. So when nothing is in new data and you need to print, right, at line number 23, what you are doing, you are printing there. Correct? So that means here, for the new data, if there is nothing to print, it is going to give you undefined here. Now tell me if this point is clear to you. Tell me, everyone, if this point clear, right? Okay, and that means we need to do something. So when I'm going to write here, let's say return 9, or it can be any string, then what is going to happen, and this function is going to call, it is going to go from here to here. It is going to print this one in here. Whenever the function calling is complete, it is going to remove itself, and in place of it, what it is going to left, it is going to left this return statement, whether it is going to be a number or it is going to be a string. All right, so this thing is going to be put in here. Whenever you are calling a function, at the time of function calling, it is going to scrap itself or remove itself, and whatever you are going to return, it is going to put 9 number instead of its own place. Now new data is holding a 9 number, so that's why when you are going to write here at line number 24, when you are doing the console.log, then instead of undefined, it is going to show you the 9 as a number. Okay, fine. So now I will show you. Let me see here. Let me see. Can you see that now 9 number is coming? Yes, everyone, can you see that 9 number is coming here, right? Okay, so that's how we can have the information of this function. All right, but if this is not, we are not calling it here, then that means we are putting the entire function of the data, this entire function. Okay, now, and if this entire information of this function is getting hold in the new data, now if you're going to call it, then it is going to give you the answer as well. Is that clear? All right, fine. Now let's go ahead. Now let's talk more about the return statement here. Okay, now I'm going to create few nested functions. Function, let's say parent. Okay, let a is equal to 9. Function outer parent, sorry, child. let b is equal to 10. Then I'm going to write here console.log a comma b. Right? Now tell me what will be the answer of this line. Line number 38, what will be the answer? Yes, tell me what will be the answer. 9 and 10. Okay, fine, good. Uttam is saying 9 and 10. What about others? Monica, so whenever you are creating any arrow function, okay, in arrow function, if you can see for this part that I'm highlighting, it actually doesn't have any name, right? We are storing it in some variable, but in reality, the way we used to define the function with function keyword, this is the actual name, because we are defining it with the help of functions only, right? If you're not going to define it with the help of some function with the variable name, so that's why they are known as anonymous functions. Okay, someone is saying it's going to be only 9. All right. Now I'll show you. Nothing is going to be printed. Why it will print? You are calling here parent function from line number 38. From line number 38, it is immediately gonna go towards line number 30. It will see that here we are declaring the a variable as 9, and that's it, nothing else. It is not going to look at line number 32. Why? Because this is like a dead function. Why dead function? Because we have not called it yet. All right, fine everyone. Okay, I'll tell you something very funny. So every house in India has marriages, right? Okay, in the marriages, if you are not calling few of your relatives, right, then they are going to create a problem, right? Because you have not called them. They are not going to come by themselves. You have to specifically call them so that they can join the ceremonies, right? Okay, so here as well, that is the same thing that we are going to do here. So we have not called it yet, so that means we need to call it first, and then only it is going to give me 9 and 10. Correct? Fine. So they are like those relatives who are going to जो अपना मुंह फुला लेते हैं ना, who are going to like swell their faces because you have not called them for the ceremonies and everything. So they are like that. Otherwise, this function, if you're not calling it, this is like a dead function. It is not going to read it. It is only going to read it when you are calling it. You are calling it here at line number 36. So it will go inside this function at line number 32 and will print the value of a and b. Clear? Okay. Any question? Any question if you have, just let me know right away. Anything you want to discuss? Child, no, you cannot. Tell me the line number where you want to call it like that. If you are saying that we can, Asha, can we do this? Is it possible? Will it give me the answer? Yes, tell me. It is going to be used in the case of this nested one is going to be used when we are going to talk about the closure part. All right, shall we go ahead? Okay, so this is not going to give you a call. This is going to give you error. Now, can tell anyone who can tell me that why this is giving you the error? Yes, what type of error is this? Yes, very good, Rishabh. Because it is inside the scope of the parent function. Very good, beta. All right, so that's why we are not going to call it. All right, now think about something. I don't want to call it like this. No, I don't want to call it like this. I don't even want to call it like the immediate invoke function as well. Is there any other way through which we can call this child? Is there any other way through which we can execute the child function? Yes, with the help of parent. Correct. Yes, with the help of parent. Think about it, guys. I'm not just taking a YouTube session. I'm also making you to think according to a coder. I don't want to call it as a normal way as I'm writing it at line number 36. So, what is the different way? Now, see, if I'm going to write here return child, okay, is it going to give me the answer? First of all, tell me. If yes, then why? Explain it. If no, then also tell me the reason that why not. Tell me, everyone. Okay, you guys are saying no, it is not going to give you the answer. Fine. Okay, there is no way that we can write double. All right. Okay, one person is saying yes, it will give the result. All right, let me save it. Yes, it is going to give the result. It is going to give me 9 comma 10. Now give me a specific reason for this, that why it happened like this. I have already made you understand this concept. You just have to think about that how it is happening, what ma'am taught us 10 minutes before. Forget about the closure property. Right now, I'm not talking about the closure property here. No. I am not using any of the technical term here for closure or lexical scope or something like this. All right. Anyone, please write it in the chat box. Because return child, return to parent. So default college child. Okay. If you remember, I told you about the return statement, right? So so first of all, what is going to happen? You come here. This is the part that is going to be executed first, right? Because it is going to take only one round bracket at a time. All right. Now, when it is gonna go from here to here, what is going to happen, guys? At that time, it is going to do the function calling. There is no statement that it is going to print, so that's why it is going to come and we'll see that we are returning the child here. Okay. Now, I told you whenever we are calling a function and when the function execution is going to complete, it is going to scrap itself, remove itself, and instead of this, what is getting put here, what is getting returned here? Child. It is going to put child in here, right? Now it will see this that this child is also getting called here. So that's why it is going to call this child function and it is going to give the answer here. Is that clear? Yes, everyone? Yes, is this concept clear? This concept is related with the return only. Okay, again I'm repeating. So what is happening whenever a function is going to call, it is going to execute whatever is written inside it, and then it will look for the return statement. If the return statement is not present, then it's fine. If the statement is present, then it is going to see that what it is returning. Here we are returning the entire function, right? Then what it is going to do when it is going to come out of the function, after executing the function complete, it is going to destroy itself, and whatever we are returning, instead of it is going to put that what we are returning here, child. So what is child? This entire function. So this entire function is going to come here. All right, and we are putting round brackets here, so that's how it is also going to call it. Is it clear? That's how the return, omka return is the key here, because of the return statement. That's the predefined keyword that is going to make this happen. All right, clear everyone? Shall we go ahead? Now, Nichelle is asking that, but if it is comes out of the function destroy itself, then how we can call just child? Because the reason for that, here the closure concept is going to come. Whenever you're defining and you're returning something, right? There is this memory. This is called as reference memory. All right, reference memory means whatever you're going to return in the function, it is going to put that information inside this reference memory. Let's say that it is putting that information here, right? So when the child is going to come here, it will see that okay, it was returning the child, then it will refer this memory location to execute, to put the data here and execute it. It is not going to look into the main memory where the actual data function is going to be stored, but in the reference memory where it is going to store for the reference point of view. All right, now students are asking, ma'am, what is going to happen if there is no child at all? Right, valid question. If I'm going to save it, right? This is how you're asking me, right? Yes or no? Now I'm going to save it, then it will give me error because it is not seeing anything here after parent. So that's what it's saying, that you are calling me like this. Okay, fine. That means it is going to give you an error. It will not understand it why you're calling it again. Once you have already completed this task here, why you're complaining it here. All right, so that is the only reason. Clear everyone? Any further question that you guys want to ask me? Otherwise, we'll move ahead. So, Uttam, tell me, you want to keep the function call? Okay, so you are saying, what if it is not returning a function? If it is not going to return a function, it will show some sort of different type of error. All right, fine. Okay, now you know the function, you know the syntax, you know the rules. There are two type of function that we discussed: categorized, parameterized, and non-parameterized. And from that point as well, we have seen two different variations of writing the function. One is with the function keyword, and other one it is with the help of arrow function. Right? Correct, everyone? Okay, so accordingly we are going to behave. It is going to behave. Now let's talk about the closure. What is closure? Closure definition means, let's say I'm writing here function. $89. Fine. now I'm going to create here one more function, inner function, and then let's say a comma b comma c. All right, let me just put it like this. Fine. Now I'm going to call this inner function here. All right, now what is going to happen? It is going to, okay, wait, let me remove this one. A is not defined as saying B. Can you see that it is giving me the answer of 10 and 100, right? Now, how this is happening? Now, again, the same question. The question that you were asking me, that ma'am, when the data is going to execute itself, it is going to start executing itself, it is going to destroy itself. That's what I said. But you remember, whatever you're going to return here, okay, it is going to be stored somewhere. All right. But right now, if I'll ask you the flow, let me write here A. What you will say? You will say that, okay, ma'am, ABC, it is going to come inside the inner function. It is going to take the value of A, B, and C and print it, right? That's what you are going to say. But no, that is not exactly the case. What it will do, first of all, whenever you are going to come inside the inner function, and if you are trying to access something, for example, at line number 49, we are trying to access A, B, and C, right? So first of all, it is going to look A inside its own scope only. If I'll talk about the scope of the inner function scope is within this area, right? Okay, so it is going to look within its own scope. When it is not going to find, then it is going to go outside its parent scope. There, what is the parent scope here? This one. Here it is going to see that, okay, A value exists, then only it will print. In a similar manner, it is going to see the B value, and similarly, it is going to see the C value here. All right. So this part is basically a combination of closure and lexical scoping. Okay. Now, what is closure? Closure means that when you are having a nested function, you can use the variables of your parent functions. All right. Again, I'm repeating, whenever you're having an inner function, the inner function can use the variables of the parent function, that means outer function. All right. That is what closure is. Now, how this data is getting provided in here. So this area basically known as the lexical scope. All right. I'm repeating again. There are two concepts in which people get confused. One is the lexical scope, one is the closure. Now, lexical scope, I am repeating again, it means that scope is determined by the physical location of the variables inside the source code. All right, that means how A is going to be accessed inside the line number 49, at line number 49, right? So where actually it is present physically within the scope of the data function, so that concept is known as lexical scope. All right. Okay, it is known as lexical scope. That means variables are going to be determined, or we are going to access them based upon their physical location present. Okay, is that clear? If I talk about closure, closure means that it is going to remember the values of the parent. All right, it is going to remember the values of the parent. That means here the inner function is remembering the value of A, B, and C with the help of same concept of reference memory. All right, now I'll show you some example. Then you guys can tell me the answer without looking it into the chat GPT or anywhere else on the Google. Okay, wait, let me write one code. Be true to yourself. You're not going to see anywhere. You're just going to give me the answer. That, okay, Richam, this is what it is going to print. Okay. Now let's write it here. All right, now what we have to do, let's say I'm going to write here const add data is equal to. Now what you can do, you can come here and then you can write some more variables here. All right, fine. So let's say I'm taking one variable, let counter is equal to 1. Okay, then after that what I'm going to do, I'm going to write here, let's say wait, you can either have a callback function or you can also have a simple function. So function, okay, counter data round bracket and curly braces. Okay, then if you want to define it outside, that's your wish. If you want to define it inside, then again it is your wish. Let's say I'm defining it inside and I'm assigning it value 0 here. Okay, then what I'm going to do, I'm going to put here return. I'm going to write here one function, okay, curly braces, and then I'm going to write here counter plus plus. Now if the counter value is 0, it is going to give me counter plus plus, means it is going to give me 1, right? Okay, and then whatever this answer is going to come, I'm going to return that answer as well. That means return this counter value. All right, now you have to tell me the answer of this one. So let's say const add is equal to my new sum. All right, fine. Here we are calling it like that. Is that clear, everyone? Yes, till now it is getting clear. Okay, now tell me, let me copy it here. What is the answer of this one? Line number 66, 67, and 68. What will be the answer, guys? Yes, tell me what will be the answer. Hurry up quickly. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. What about others? One, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, let me show you. We have to call it in the console.log. Copy, paste, and then paste and save it. Now the answer is going to be 1, 2, 3. Can you guys give me the specific reason for this? Yes, give me the explanation of this, guys. Hurry up. It's called by itself. No, it is not getting called by itself. No, we are making it up. We are calling it separately. No, what else, guys? We discussed it. Okay, see now. Here is the concept of again the reference memory. I'll make you understand. Now see, this is the reference memory. Okay. When we were calling this counter data here, it is going to come from here to here and it is going to see the value of counter 0. It is, instead of taking it or picking the value from the original variable only. All right, fine. What it is going to do? It is going to put this counter value. It is going to put this counter value inside this reference memory here. All right. It is going to put this counter value inside this here as a reference memory, counter 0. All right. Okay. When it is going to put here as a counter 0, then that means next time it will see that this is the entire thing that we are returning. So that means this entire part is going to be put instead of itself. Then if you will see here, if I'm going to show you here the console.log of add only and save it, you will see that this is the entire function that we returned, right? This is the entire function that we returned. All right. Is that clear, everyone? Now, this is the function that we are getting called. So what is going to happen every time? Whenever we require this function, what this function is going to do, it is going to pick the value of the counter variable from this reference memory here. What is the value here? 0. So it is going to do counter plus plus, the value is going to be 1 and that's what it is going to return. And that's how for this one we are getting the answer 1. And this value is going to be updated here. Again, when we are going to call this function, again it will see that we need to call the counter plus plus. So what, from where it is going to take the value? From this reference memory only. This reference memory is now holding the value of 1. So that's how it is going to convert it into, with the help of line number 60, counter plus plus into the 2 value. All right. So that means here it is going to give me 2 and similarly it is going to give me 3 here. Is that clear, everyone? Yes or no, guys? Is the explanation clear to all of you? So this is the closure concept. That means it will remember. Closure is going to remember the property or the values of its parent function because it is going to store them inside the reference memory. All right. All right. Now let's see the few questions. All right. I'm going to tell you a few scenarios. You have to give me the solution for that. All right. Is that clear? Now I'm going to show you one scenario. You have to tell me that, okay, this is what we can do and how we can do. All right. Now, wait, let me show you. Let me create here one file, questions.js. Now read this question, guys, and tell me, write it in the chat box that, okay, this is the solution, ma'am, that we can do. This is the code. Write everyone the code in the chat box for this one. It is very simple. Think about the logic of this question and give me the answer, that how it is going to, what type of code you are going to write. Okay, function plus if else condition. Yes, very good. What else? Okay, Rishabh, good. Good try. All right, let me write the code for you then. Okay, everyone tried very well, so it's very good, guys. So let me write the code for all of you. So that means imagine that you are at home and your electricity bill depends upon how much you use. The first 100 units are cheap, then it gets more expensive. So this function is going to calculate what your bill should be based upon your usage. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create here one function calculate bill round bracket, okay, and curly braces. Let bill like this, okay. I'm taking one variable here. Now let's say that we want to pass here few units, okay, that what are the total units that has been used. If the units are going to be, let's say, less than is equal to 100, then what we are going to do, we are going to say bill is equal to whatever the units into 5. All right, now as if units are less than is equal to 200, then bill is equal to 100 into 5 plus round bracket units minus 100 into 7. Can you tell me that why did I perform this line number 10 here? Can you guys tell me that why did I write here line number 10 like this only? Why I cannot simply put here like 200 into 7? Why is it so? Very good. Yes. So we need to kill because the first, if the units are 200, the first 100 units are going to have a different billing amount as compared to the next 100. Okay, so that's why. Very good. So that's why we are putting here it like this only. All right. Now, after that, else curly braces, I want to generate bill again. Bill is equal to 100 into 5 plus 100 into 7 plus round bracket units minus 200 into 10. All right, so that's how the bill is going to be calculated. And then in the end, we are going to return the bill. Okay, and then simply I can come here, calculate bill. Let's say the units are 345, and that's how it is going to give me the answer. Let me put it in the console.log. Now see, the answer is 2650. Is that clear? So that's how we can write this code here. Is it clear? Okay. Any doubt, any question that you have, let me know right away. Any further question? Otherwise, we'll see the next question here. How you are going to do this while loop? Can you explain it a little bit more? Okay. All right. Now let's talk about the next thing. Okay, fine. Now this is our next question. Let me do that and I put it here. Let's say that you are building a calendar. Now let's say you're going to put 1 year. You have to check whether that year is a leap year or not. How you're going to do that? Whether the year is a leap year or it is not a leap year. Tell me. Quickly. Tell me what we call the leap year. If the year divided by 4 is equal to 0. All right. Anyone else? Anyone else? A leap year is a year if it is going to be divisible by 4. Okay. And one more thing that you have to put in as constraint. All right. Except if it is divisible by 100, then it should also be divisible by 400. You also have to check on that. All right, if a function is divisible by 100, then that means it is also going to be divisible by 400, because 400, if we're going to remove two zeros, that is again a 4, which is going to calculate the leap year, right? Okay, fine. So why these extra checks? Why I'm talking about the 100 and 400? So that to correct a timing error. Do you know that in a year, how many days are there? In a year, how many days are there? Yes, tell me. In a year, how many days are there? 365, right? No. In a year, basically, we have 365.25 days. All right, 365.25 days. Now, if we are going to add a leap day every 4 years, now calculate 365.25 into 4. Calculate it. 365.25 into 4. All right. Now, that means if we are going to, so point 2, so after 4, that means in leap year, there is one extra day. That's why we say that 366. Okay. So 356.25. Next time 365.25, it is going to be, if we are going to add 0.25 again in the next year, because we are going to start the counting from 1, right? It is going to be 365.50. Correct? Again 0.25 we are going to add, then it is going to be 75. Again for the next year, if we are going to add 25, then it is going to be 366. So that's how on the 4th year you are going to get 366 here. All right, fine. So that means if we are going to calculate for the leap year for 365.25, it can lead up to some errors. All right, so that's why we are adding 100 there. Is that clear? 100 and 400. All right, fine. All right, now tell me how you're going to create a solution for that. How you're going to create a solution for that. Hurry up. And here is this one more question. Okay, you do this question by yourself because it might be the possibility that this question can seem difficult to you. But now I'm going to show you one more question here. Look at this question and give me the answer. That's how we can write the code for this one. So a shopping website gives different discounts based upon the cart amount and the customer membership level. That means a membership level can be of gold, silver, and regular or platinum, right? Okay, so how we can create the shopping website discount factor here. All right, that means it needs to calculate the discount. So what we are going to do? Function calculate discount round bracket. So based upon the cart amount along with the customer membership level, it is going to decide the discount here. So let discount like this. If let's say we are getting two information here, one is the amount and then the membership. Okay, if the membership is equal to gold, then what is going to happen? It is going to check what is the cart value. All right, what is the amount? So that means let's say the amount is greater than, if the amount is going to be greater than is equal to 5,000, then only it is going to get the discount of 15%. All right, if it is going to be greater than is equal to 5,000, else curly braces discount is going to be 15% only. Okay, for more than 5,000, let us make it as 25%. Done. So this is only going to be done for the if the membership is gold here. What if the membership is equal to silver, right? If the membership is going to be silver here, then it is going to check if amount is greater than is equal to 3,000. Okay, then what is the discount? It is going to get discount is equal to 10%, or we should make it similar only, 5,000 amount. Okay, then discount is 10%. All right, else discount is only 5%. All right, now after that, else if there is no membership, then that means there is no discount at all. All right, and then return discount. Okay, now let me calculate discount here. Amount, let's say I'm putting here 6,500 and I'm writing here gold. Okay, right now it should you should not make any case insensitive issue. So now see, I have to call it within the console.log. Okay, can you see the discount is 25%? If I'm going to put here, let's say 1,500 and save it. Now for this pitch only the discount is 15%. Let's say I'm changing the membership. For silver, it is going to be 5% only. So that's how the nested if else is also going to be used. And that's how we can also use the concept of the functions here. Is that clear? Yes, everyone. Is this part clear to all of you? Is that clear, everyone? Yes or no? All right, fine. Now tell me if you have any question because our today's session is done. Now, last 10 minutes, I'm going to resolve your queries if you have any queries. So let me know if you have any doubt, if you need to know anything. How to start with DSA using Java to become an app developer. So you should be having a basic knowledge about the Java first of all. Then you start with the linear data structures from array. You're going to start and look at the patterns that the array is going to give you. Okay, look at the pattern. So that's how you can identify that. So you can start working on the DSA. And side by side, you need to do the lead code questions as well. Okay, so you have to design a complete pattern because nowadays companies are asking for DSA questions as well as they are asking for the web development questions as well. So rather than doing each and everything, it is not possible for you, right? For anyone else. So you need to focus on the main areas that where you can do stuff, where you can how you can start practicing on that. All right. Okay. Uh, yes. Anything else, guys, you want to discuss? Yes. In the last day, we will share the question. Don't worry. All right. Yes, everyone. Any further question? Okay. Someone is asking about the high order functions, right? Okay. Tell me, guys, what do you mean by high order functions? What is higher order functions? A function that does one or both of the few things. Like, for example, the first thing takes another function as an argument or returns a function as a result. Okay, in short, functions that work with other function is basically the high order functions here. All right, now let me give you the example of the high order function. Let's say I'm going to write here function message curly braces function data round bracket curly braces. Okay, now what I'm going to do, if you're going to write something like this data, and then within this I'm going to pass this message as a parameter here, right? If I'm going to write here this message as a parameter, so this is what a higher order function is. All right, is that clear? Is that clear, everyone? So this is how the higher order functions are going to look like. Now what we can do, so let's say the message is going to be return hello, how are you? That was the message. So inside the data, because we are receiving something, so I'm going to put it in some variable. Let's say the variable name is callback. Then const, let's say username is equal to Peter Parker. Okay, and then we are going to return here for this message by incorporating this username. Let's say this is getting some name here. So I'm going to write here hello, the name, and then we are putting here how are you. All right, so this is what a higher order function is going to look like. Can you see it is giving you the answer hello Peter Parker, how are you? Right, so that's a function here, higher order function. That means you can send the higher function as a parameter inside the other function. Okay, All right, guys, I hope that you have liked this session a lot. Again, if you have any query, just let me know. All right. But please make sure that before coming in tomorrow's session, you have gone through this functions concept, loop concept, and conditional statement concepts along with the variables. All right, fine. Because tomorrow we are going to talk about arrays, we are going to talk about DOM, and then we are going to create some small application as well. Is that clear? Okay. So please make sure that you have gone through. You have sorry. Here we have to. Now this will not be a confusion for you. Now see. Now your confusion is going to be removed, right? At line number 62, we are using here callback. Is that clear? Is that clear, everyone? All right. Okay, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye. Take care, guys. Bye.